adventure is about experiencing new people, new cultures, new horizons. About learning who you are in relation to the rest of the world. 7 people come together to travel thousands of miles across the globe in search of adventure. The expedition is also a Parkinson's fundraiser. Every kilometre they drive raises money and awareness for Parkinson's disease. Starting from San Francisco, California, the expedition team heads down into Mexico and Central America. They continue driving to the tip of South America, where the cars catch a ship to Australia. The team cuts across the outback, hops over to Singapore, where they follow the route north through Southeast Asia. Then they swing west into India, up into China, and across the Siberian wilderness. Finally, they drive through Alaska, Canada, and back home. On this episode, Odyssey goes down under.
I've come across a dingo. They're known to be pretty vicious, so I'm not stepping foot out of the car.
But dingoes aren't the only danger.
I hate these flies!
All right, we've arrived in Australia. We're in Brisbane, finally here and ready to pick up our vehicles.
We're going through the process called quarantine. Hopefully we'll get lucky and it'll be short, but I'm betting on a long day.
Australia quarantine is very strict, and rightly so. They've had a number of issues and outbreaks here over the years. And they have to make sure that everything that you're bringing into the country is free of parasites, bugs.
This was the mate cup that we were drinking over in Chile and Argentina, and now it's filled with mold. This is pretty much exactly what they don't want to see here.
Check that out. It's very thorough.
How's everything looking?
Oh, it's good to us.
Huh?
Good to us.
Yeah?
Sometimes it's hard to understand Australian even.
Okay, now we gotta put all the stuff back in the cars, go get them washed right down the road here, and come back, and we should be okay.
We've been sitting here for about 2 hours, I'd say. Good thing we got this.
So we are at the Australia Zoo. It's supposed to be pretty interactive, like you get to hold koala bears. That's why I'm here, because I really want to hold a koala bear.
Oh, kookaburra? Yeah.
That was great.
These guys are actually one of the only animals that actually have fingerprints too, just like humans.
Really? Like identical,
Yeah,
unique?
unique.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Oh, yeah. So when they steal, you can track them down.
How are you? Definitely a cool experience. Boxing kangaroos.
They're kissing.
I just bounced it like a basketball.
We're back on the road and we're heading up to Cairns. And from there, we're actually going to go out and we're going to dive the Great Barrier Reef.
Stopping to revive. In Australia, when you're driving these long stretches, there's nothing in between, and there's these signs. They say, stop, revive, and survive. So we're stopping to get some coffee.
The bugs here have been killing us. As soon as you get out of the car, they're on you like that. There's just no escaping them here. Little bastard.
All right, we are off the coast of Cairns, and we're about to go on a scuba diving adventure. Wonder if we're gonna see any sharks.
I have always dreamed about going scuba diving. I'm glad I did because it was so incredibly beautiful under there.
Let's get wet.
fantastic. I went ahead and signed up and got credit for the dives, and I'm going to keep diving and try to get my certification. Really, really amazing experience, though.
Selling booze to drunk Aussies, not that difficult.
The team visits world-famous Uluru.
2 cents on Nancy climbing the rock.
I just had to climb it.
With diving under their belts, the team heads to Cape Tribulation, 110 kilometres north of Cairns in the Daintree National Park. They're going to visit Dr. Hugh Spencer, who runs a bat research centre in this tropical World Heritage Site.
When we were in Cairns, Todd set up a visit for us at the Cape Tribulation Bat House. So we jumped in a couple of vehicles and drove up, and really the drive was the exciting part of the Bat House visit. It was really wet when we got there, and there's all these creeks that wash over the road. And the little bitty cars, they'd be pulled over and stopped, trying to figure out whether they had enough guts. We did have the guts. In fact, we just kind of plowed through them and splashed and had the time of our lives just driving out to the Bat House.
We drove for several hours down winding roads and up hills and finally came upon the Bat House.
Hello. How you doing?
Hi.
I'm Neil.
I'm
This is Todd.
Spencer, Justin.
Justin.
Nice to meet you.
Holy moly.
It's awesome.
Do they bite?
Nope.
Okay.
These are amazing. They reminded me of puppies, you know. It was such a surprise. You know, they look like them, their faces are like them, they have fur, and they love to be scratched.
How's your wings? Sunshine, you all right? You having a bad day?
What kind of bats are these?
Spectacled flying fox. Yeah, because of the rings around their eyes.
He licked my face.
You got licked by a bat.
Tickles.
Bat kisses.
He thinks I'm sweet.
It's Jasper.
Oh, God.
They're basically lemurs with wings. Intensely visual, they have no sonar. They're strict vegetarians. They're very affectionate animals. They're very intensely social. Aren't you, Sunshine? Well, Sunshine's occasionally social, and sometimes Sunshine isn't all that social. They can fly at about 30 kilometres an hour, or even faster. You know, they're like the B-50. Shut up. The B-52s of the bat world. Sunshine. It's always it's relatively harmless.
The bat peed right on Shanda's head. I just saw the stream go.
One of the bats took a little bathroom break on my head and down my back. So when we left Cairns, we headed out for Mount Isa. On our way to Mount Isa, we stopped in a city called Mount Garnett. We noticed there was a lot of commotion. We spoke to someone and they said, "Oh, it's the big rodeo."
While we were there, Nancy and Shanda had a pretty good idea, actually, in terms of rodeo. I don't know how correct it is to do. They went into town and they picked up some vodka.
Oh, I think we have some customers.
Hi, my name, hey.
We offered 1 can of Red Bull and a shot of vodka for $5 Aussie.
Selling booze to drunk Aussies, not that difficult, especially if you maybe show a little skin. This is a Parkinson's fundraiser. Yeah, they like to drink too, but they also are excited to give money to a good cause. So they're investing in not only booze, but also in other people. Oh, we got some customers.
Did you want the cups? It's one of those situations where we get more money than we give product. At this particular camp, nobody's interested in the vodka or the Red Bull, but they are interested in the cause, so they're donating.
Vodka, Red Bull, anyone? Vodka, Red Bull, sweet John Deere hats. I love those. Yeah, I'll trade you some Red Bulls for a John Deere hat.
Red Bull.
Rums, yeah?
Yeah, rum.
3?
Deal.
Unfortunately, we still are doing some driving at night, which in Australia can be pretty dangerous. And in fact, as we were making our way into the outback, we were driving at night to make up some time, and I took out not one, but 2 kangaroos.
If you want to know what the inside of a kangaroo looks like, just look under my car. I clipped one about 1.5 miles back. I got a chunk there. I got blood all over the inside wheel.
I wish we would see more kangaroos, because we only seem to see them at night, and I only see them when they're going under my bumper.
Hey, just woke up, first day in the outback. Look at all these termite mounds around. They're pretty cool. Everywhere in Australia. They get bigger too. Some of them get up to 10, 15 feet high.
Holy crap, these are really, they're hard as rocks. It's full of little tunnels and stuff. It'd be fun to shrink down and explore.
Look at that rock. Ayers Rock was amazing. Truly another unique landscape.
Right now we're heading to an Aboriginal community. I've been here twice before to Australia, and I've never been able to go to an Aboriginal community. So the chance that we get to go is pretty amazing.
What's your name? Huh? What's wrong, Justin?
Sorry.
It's always fun when you get to come in and give the kids the little Hella keychain lights. They get something to remember us by, and they can use it. You know, it's not every day you get to see a place like this. People told me, you know how big it is, right? And I said, yeah, I know it's a big rock. And they said, no, it's double, triple, whatever you're thinking. It's that big. The Aboriginal communities out there don't want people climbing it because it is a sacred monument for their community. Although it is part of a national park and it is legal to climb it, it's more of a respect thing.
Check out the sunset at Uluru, which is one of the most beautiful places we've been to this whole trip. We walked around it today and I could feel the power.
There's a trail that goes all the way up. It took Nancy 23 minutes to get to the very top, and she did it with bare feet.
I wasn't gonna climb it, but when I got there, it was like I just had to climb it.
2 cents on Nancy climbing the rock today. Personally, I think it's a little fucked up because yesterday we were guests of the Mudajulu tribe. They're trying to keep people from climbing on the rock because it's a spiritual place for the Aboriginal communities. I just think it's ridiculous. An adventure junkie can't control herself.
Who would have thought there's camels in Australia?
We've come across a dingo. They're known to be pretty vicious, so I'm not stepping foot out of the car.
But dingoes aren't the only danger.
I hate these flies!
Leaving Uluru behind, the team starts their trek across the infamous Gun Barrel Highway of Western Australia. Known as one of the most grueling and remote roads on Earth, they have over 1,500 kilometres of Australian outback to cross before reaching Perth.
That's right. We are in a dust storm. First we were like, no, we're not going to drive at night in Australia. Definitely not because of the kangaroos, you know? Now we're on the Gun Barrel Highway and you can't even see. Pure comedy, I tell you.
They're selling kangaroo tails in the frozen section. Apparently what they do is they buy them there. They sit them on the dashboard for a few days, and then they throw them on the fire and let all the hair burn off, and then they can peel away all the meat.
So one of the things that we have to do fairly regularly when we're out on the road is use our additional fuel supplies to gas up the cars. And one of the problems that we're hit crossing the Gun Barrel Highway is that there's no unleaded gasoline. The Aboriginal communities out here, some of them tend to have a problem with the youth sniffing the fumes from unleaded gas, and so
the elders in the communities have come in and outlawed unleaded gasoline. So what we're getting ready to do is start using a mixture of avgas, which is aviation fuel.
So they lock up the pumps out here to prevent theft from the Aboriginals. They like to sniff gas, and it's a big problem out here. But seeing as they obviously like this sniffing, I think it's worth a try.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. What you got, Nancy?
Found a camel skull. I was just driving by a tree back there, and this was right up against the tree.
Who would have thought there's camels in Australia? Yeah, I mean, if you've seen a camel, I mean, just big camel.
Thousands of camels were imported to Australia in the late 1800s for transportation. Many were later abandoned and now make the outback their domain.
Yeah, I think this might be our turnoff, but you can't tell out here, really. They don't mark anything. What is it? I'm going to see what the sign says.
Yeah, this is the sign. What a sign. Oh my God.
I think they're pretty darn good roads for how remote we were. You don't see a car or anything for 3-4 days. And I think that's wonderful. But when you hit the gun barrel, talk about a washboard. Yeah. Ba 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 ba. And that's how you feel.
I'm carrying 5 different maps, and I'm using GPS coordinates. And not once so far has a single mileage estimate or GPS coordinate been correct. Fortunately, it is pretty much the only road out here, and it goes pretty much straight west. So if you see a road and it's going west, odds are that's your road.
Life on the road, especially through the outback, is very different. We saw 3 dingoes yesterday. It was kind of disappointing because I thought they'd be like all gnarly and like mean and like, I want to eat your baby, you know, kind of dog. But they're not, they're cute.
We've come across a dingo in the middle of the outback. He's actually quite calm. Looks like he's ready to take a nap right in front of our car. Looks like a little pet dog, like you could pet, but they're known to be pretty vicious and eat little babies, so I'm not stepping foot out of the car. Ain't that right, little dingo buddy? Yeah.
On the road in Australia, seeing kangaroos bouncing, I mean, they're just like springs. Boing, 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 boing. It's not the brightest animals in the world, but it just cracks me up.
I'm headed. Yeah. It's been about 600 or 700 miles, and we got unleaded fuel, so we're stoked.
It's kind of nice to be here. We're getting closer back to civilization, and after 3 days, and by the end of today, it'll be day 4, I'll be ready for a shower.
You ready now, my friend?
Clean is different here. You're doing good if you can shower every 3 days.
Hello?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
So Nancy twisted her foot last night.
I was exploring, there's a crater over here. I thought it would be fun to check it out, and I fell directly into a pit and landed on my ankle this way. So now it's all nice and swelled up. Oh, and here's the worst part. My favorite flip-flop. Blew it out. Completely blown out.
But Nancy, look, someone left another one for you, and it's the right foot, too. Stoked.
Hey, slide that little Cinderella slipper on my little foot. That is the right size. Ew.
There's a car coming. This is the first oncoming car we've seen in probably 4 days.
How you going?
What was it like coming up through the gun barrel? You know,
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. The road turns into like a small, narrow track,
Yes.
but you can definitely pass no problem with this.
Where have you come?
From
Do you talk funny?
From San Francisco, California.
Okay, well, good on your lads.
Yeah.
We'll catch you later.
All
All
right.
the best.
Have a good one.
See ya, boy.
Suppose we should have asked him for gas money.
God, these flies! Ah! I hate these flies! They're killing me. Ah, annoying. They're killing me.
Yes, there you go. That's good.
Do this, walk around all day.
I think they get worse as we go west.
Yeah, I can't deal with the flies. I think one laid eggs in my left eye. I'm gonna have some babies from my eye.
10,000. Everything I read about the gun barrel, it just sounded so dangerous. The police never check the road. If you get into trouble, you're kind of screwed.
I didn't know what the gun barrel was at all, because I thought that semis used it. It was so much more fun than that.
Now we know.
So right now we're in Perth, and we just got to the port where our ship is waiting for us. So we're gonna be out at sea for about 5 days, and we're all pretty excited to get to Singapore. And we'll see if we're seamen or not. We'll find out if we get seasick. 5 days at sea could prove to be pretty grueling.
On the next Odyssey,
Play me some soul music, man.
This is the life.
Pirates out here.
They found some more impurities.
Oh my God.
You should see my back.
for more adventures visit odysseyshow.com.